Hey everybody, Bruce here again, KB45 Modern Warrior. So, had a bunch of questions about home defense stuff lately. So, wanted to do a little bit on that, not get too deep into the weeds on it, but definitely um, cover some things so get you started thinking about your path. Okay, everybody's is different. Okay, so real quick, I got a shoulder set up on, shoulder holster set up. Honestly, most comfortable setup I have, other than a drop leg. Um, but for nighttime, you can just have this hanging up, put it on, and then you're good to go. Um, Move about your house. You don't even have to have clothes on if that's the way you sleep, whatever. So, um, I will say, so I've got a Beretta FS92. It's like an A71 or whatever. It's a nice one. This is a X model compact. Difference being, this one, when you decock it, it automatically goes back from the safe position to the fire position, okay? So if you're gonna run something in, like if you're gonna run something like this, I prefer that, like if you are gonna run it for that kind of defensive situation, you run it like this. Guys will run their decocker on in a rig like this, and then sometimes when they go to deploy it, it's not decocked, okay? So then they have no trigger pull, and they gotta figure that out, try to fumble through it, and they're already in trouble at that point. So that's about all I'm going to say about that and that sidearm. So this is a little bit smoother, so you don't have to do as much training. Probably most guys are going to be running some kind of striker fire setup anyway. Is the general thing that I see out there. Okay, so that, before you do that, maybe even set of shoes, have them beside your bed. You don't know what you're going to encounter. It could be a natural disaster, tornado. We just had tornadoes go through last night, so you can eat anything. A lot of guys will run a light. I don't run a light. It's not my thing. I don't run them on my pistols. I run, I just like to be able to see an ambient light. That being said, like you can lash something on. If you're running something like this, you have a light, you don't have to hold it. A lot of guys want to run it on their firearm, which is great if you're running an RMR, because then when your light shines out there, and you can see through your RMR, see that dot, you're on it, okay? For close quarters, what's it matter, right? Like if you can't draw on fire within your home or within a building, like I don't know what to tell you. That's a training issue is what I'd say, I guess. So other thing, so for me, I have little baby feet, never seen the sun, so I like to have shoes. I like to have these are electronic earmuffs. They go on quick and easy, so I think that's a good setup. So a lot of guys like to run suppressors for home defense. If that's you, more power to you. I don't, because of the way I'm trained, my training. I don't like the extra length that slows the firearm down as far as maneuvering. It just gives your combatant something else to hang on to. I mean, there's 1,000 scenarios, and there's a rebuttal to all of them as well. So just do your thing. If you like to run a suppressor, run a suppressor. I think that for me, in that scenario, if I'm getting ready, put my shoes on, put these on. The other thing about these is that if anybody runs these, yes, there's a little bit of a delay sometimes. The more money you spend, the less delay there will be in, you can always just kind of tell there's a little delay sometimes. The nicer ones are not that way, but again, it's price point. So, but these mics will pick up more than your regular ambient hearing will, and they'll amplify it. So if you need to get up and deal with something because you thought you heard something, if you put these on, turn them up, you're going to know what's going on in your household. The other thing is dogs. Like, we have a dog, okay? If there's an entry into this home that's not supposed to happen, he's going to know it, okay? So that's a different scenario. Then you're dealing with something, right? And sometimes that's a problem too, because they bark, right? Ours doesn't, but if he does, you need to check it out. So So training with that as well. All right, but so the other thing about this, if you fire a shot, if you have to discharge your firearm inside of your domicile, right, like it's going to be loud, okay? I don't know if you've ever been in something like that when you fire around, but it's loud, okay? This is going to dampen that, and then it's going to allow you to continue to hear, okay? Because a lot of people are like, well, I dealt with the intruder, that's it. No, you might have multiples. Things could get really bad in the world, and you might have lots of multiples, right? Okay, so you're going to need to be prepared for that. So big fan of that mic'd hearing protection. Okay, you can get the earbuds, those are great if you're going to run a rifle for home defense. I'm all for it. Okay, the only thing about a rifle is, yes, you can use it as a tool, like a weapon for bludgeoning, everything else. Over penetration, those of you guys that think about that well in that realm, you'll understand, you know, there's rounds that are made to tumble and not do that. There's rounds that are made to penetrate and blow through stuff. Know which one you want and know how to use it. Okay. So the other setup I like to run, I like to just have this. Okay. This is nice. You know, seen a lot of other videos on it. I've had this rig forever. I enjoy wearing it, but it's not very practical for me in my format now. What I do like though is, so I like to run this. This is just and you can run this with lots of different pistol setups, but this is just a little SIG 365. And I keep, so when I travel, I just keep my knife on there. Okay. If it's not on my person, if it's in my kit, I can put that on my belt, and then I have this. Now, here's just some food for thought in your thinking. So if I were to get up and have to deal with something, whatever it might be, as I was doing my inspections, I would not want to already be bearing my firearm. And this is clear. I'll show you guys. Actually, there's no magazine in it, and it's clear. Okay. So I would not want to present necessarily. I know there's training out there for that. I come from a very, very big background in martial arts and self-defense, and you know, we call it close quarter combat and close quarter battle, CQB is what everybody wants to call it. You know, when I was coming up, we called it close quarter combat. Okay, and it was physical combat, not firearms combat. This is like kind of the differentiation in that. It's just terminology, it's jargon, it just changes from the groups that you run with, okay? But I would carry this like this, move around, I can strike, bludgeon, come out quickly, do what I want to do, put it away. But as a father, this makes a little more sense to me than carrying around, you know, my firearm, sidearm ready to go. However, whatever your training level is, I'm not being critical of anybody, but it's covered. There's going to be no discharge, no accidental discharge, right? Everything's good to go. It's stowed away. I can grip, reinforce, I can strike with it, but if I go to fire, I have to actually remove it, okay? So for those of you that have littles in your home, firearms may not be a good idea. I'm just going to tell you that. Like, yes, if you have to defend them, it's force multiplier, and I'm all about that. However, when you go roaming around your home, if you think you have an intruder that has not made themselves aware, you know, like you're aware that something's wrong, but like they have not shown their presence to you, maybe you don't want to go wandering around ready to go, okay? I mean, kids don't come back from that. So here's the other thing. So as I picked it up, it came on. So these are cheap. You can get them you can get them off of Amazon really cheap. So these are motion activated. That's why it came on when I picked it up. You can have screw mount bases, adhesive tape, Velcro. I pulled this one out of my safe. I keep one of these in my safe. I open the door. I reach in, it comes on, illuminates everything, okay? So it's good for that. You can put them in drawers. If you want to be stealthy enough, you don't want illumination, don't have them on where you don't want them, okay? People need light to see. Guess what? Predators, maybe they don't. When you turn your light on, they know where you're at, okay? So we're going to discuss that with this. You can set these around your home, okay? And you can get them that stick on your plug-in, on your wall, on your receptacle, right? And they do everything. You don't have to keep batteries in them like this. This one's battery powered because it goes in my safe. So you can set these around your home, and you can be in your other room, in your wherever you're at, and if the lights are starting to activate and come on in your home in that scenario, then you know where your intruder is, okay? So, I mean, a lot of people have their ring systems or whatever their private security is on their home now. All of that's good. That could even help you not get to this point. But if you do get to this point, you have something like this, the lights are going to come on. You're not going to need a weapons mounted light on your weapon. And you're not going to have to give away your position, you know. And these are bright, and they're really, I mean, in the darkness, these are pretty bright, right? So, but it doesn't necessarily mean, like, they're going to be looking for movement just like you are. So if you're stationary, kind of understand what's going on, you're listening, you know, you're being careful, and one of these kicks on, you're going to see what the problem is, okay? You're going to see your intruder, you're going to see whatever it is. I mean, I don't know, stray cat broke into your house, I don't know, but so that's good. A lot of people don't think about, these are obviously tinted, but safety glasses. If you do get in a firefight in your own home, there's going to be a lot of stuff flying around. So it's not a bad idea to have something on if you're really going to deal with an engagement. So the other thing, so non-lethal stuff, well, these are all lethal stuff. Pepper guns, excellent. I had one, I don't have it here with me. The only thing I would say about the pepper pellet guns, they will pretty well immobilize someone, but if you discharge that in your house, inside your home, it's going to disperse in your home, okay? So you need to be aware that you need to not get caught up in that same environment where that, you know, disables you as well. So another thing real quick, so for me, part of the way we train, so this is a striker fire, obviously, no hammer, okay? But, and again, you can see it's clear. All right, these are, I don't know if there's actually a term for this, but I have a full guide rail on the pistol. So when I hit here, if I hit on a hard surface, it's still gonna allow me, it's not gonna take it out of battery, okay? That's out of battery, tilting barrel, now it's back in battery, okay? So I can be very close, strike with that. I can thump something, thump somebody, whatever. I don't necessarily have to pull the trigger. But if I do, I need to have the understanding that if I come out of battery, which when the barrel breaches like that, then it's not going to go, okay? I come to here, now it's not going to go, all right? So I can press, release, fire, okay? Almost all of my stuff I buy set up that way, okay? So pistols I'm a fan of have that. This has a full guide rail. You see it, okay? It's not going to come, it will come out of battery, but it's not much. And it's just when you train, you'll get to a place where it doesn't matter because you'll actually strike, and the second you come off, then you pull the trigger, okay? And make sure if you're gonna go down that path, you also want to think about different styles of these. You need to train with them because it'll do funny things to your magazines sometimes, okay? It'll just displace that next round a little bit depending on what happens. So pretty much all my stuff, that's what I like to run. Even this 1911, it's full rod, okay? It's heavier, I can club with it. I don't even need to use the rounds. So, and then right here, sticks. I have a friend, okay? Tonfa, Okinawan term for that. This is what we I have a friend, he's a big firearms guy, but he keeps one of these in every room of his home. He keeps one by his door. Like, this is his non-lethal answer to combatants, okay? And honestly, if you're trained well with this and they don't have something they're going to shoot you with, you can probably deal with them, okay? So just thought for that. Wanted to get that out. Sticks too. Interestingly, my daughter, she went and hung out with a friend of hers. They have these from when they're way back when they're kids, little kids, when they're taking classes of Kali work. And girl, like, she went to see her at her dorm room. She had it in her room, and she's like, "Yeah, I kept it by my bed every day since you gave it to me." And you know, it's been a long, long time ago. So everything has its place and purpose. Okay, so you can have that in a dorm room, I guess. It's it's not a firearm. So anyway, so decide whether you need lighting, not, how comfortable you are with that. If you want to run a light mount, weapon with a light mounted on, it's fine. Just realize that as soon as you turn that light on, you're giving away your location as well. So, but the big things: shoes, ear protection, safety stuff, and know all of your tools well. Like, these are just all tools. Everything here is a tool. So just know it all well. So, and then quick thing, gotta get the Bible in there. So for you guys, so Psalms 127, the second half of the first verse says, "Unless the Lord guards the city, the watchman stays awake in vain." So realistically, if you're not in, how should I say this? Like, if you don't know God, I hope you do come to know God, and I hope that He's watching over your household, and watching over you and your family. So anyway, hope this helps. Any questions, comments, you guys can leave them. Happy to answer stuff. I had a comment the other day, and it was actually great. The guy was real nice about it, but I had made a comment about some stop bleed, and I wasn't aware that there are stop bleed stuff that we call stop bleed generically, but there's different ones that won't coagulate when people are on blood thinners, which the time I had to use it, the one I had worked. Anyway, he left a nice comment, and so we're always wanting to learn. So as long as you guys keep it cordial, we want to build a community of people that are working with one another and just moving forward. So anyway, I hope this helped you guys out. I'll talk to you later.